Alrighty, boys, it's 2-1. New Kids on the Block wins. Sounds kind of like by default because people had to pick a winner. I am disappointed, surprised, and slightly irritated. Of course, like Don says, these aren't my fucking like. There's no. I don't give a fuck if you like them, but Jim, I gotta say, man, man, it's so frustrating sometimes. Their musical instruments are their voices. They're singers. They don't need to play a fucking banjo or a flute or drums. That's not what they're for. That like you made so many statements there that was like, oh my god, you're just wrong on this. You're wrong on the fact that they wouldn't have been anything if it wasn't for MTV or videos. New Edition is so good. They are so good at singing. They're amazing. All five of those guys and Bobby Brown, who Don was not in that video, went on to solo acts and just had incredible careers. They're very talented and they can dance. But the whole thing with the instruments, like the Temptations and the Four Tops didn't play instruments. And I would tend to think that you think that they were pretty good. Is it because they were from the 60s and you just had more respect for those people? Um, man, the instrument thing. There's guys that can play instruments that can't sing. But these guys are singers. That's what they do. They sang and sang quite well. And then you said New Kids on the Block had more talent because they did the acapella thing. New Kids on the Block were good, and they're still playing music. I've seen something recently about them. They're not even close to New Edition as far as talent goes, singing. But whatever. That's just you're just wrong on that. It's not even an opinion. You're just wrong. Um, you were thinking about Justin Timberlake. He's from NSYNC. You said he's the guy from the Saturday Night Live skits, or the. I know he did SNL, and he also did things at Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Fallon show. And you're right, he is an amazingly talented everything. He's a musician, singer, dancer, golfer, actor. He's got his hands in everything. Yes, you're very right about that. He is very talented and seems like a very cool guy. But as far as the whole thing with the instruments, and they wouldn't have been without MTV, it's just not true. Those guys were great. Don, you talked about first of all, I liked how you said you're gonna crush that guy or kick his because he beeped at you. You're so pissed. In the beginning of your video, which if you want to watch again, the first like 3 or 4 seconds, you made this great noise and just made me laugh. Um, by the way, this is going to be we're gonna shatter a record, I think, of getting all four videos in. It's 2:30 right now, so that's good. It's kind of amazing, actually. Don, like I said, Bobby Brown wasn't in the video. That's fine. You're so wrong. You're so wrong also about you've never heard these songs before. I mean, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You've heard them before. Um, and you talked about were those the kids from Stand By Me? And you had me confused because Stand By Me is all white kids and then the singing. And then I'm thinking you must have meant Lean on Me about the principal. Joe Brown, is that his name? Played by Morgan Freeman. That must have been it. When the kids were singing the was it the school alma mater? Oh my god. Insulting. Insulting to New Edition to think that they were 3 or 4 kids that had this part in a movie. Nope, wasn't them. What else? You talked about the NCAA tournament. I'm with you on that, 100%. Not 100%. I'll still watch because I just love the finality of when you lose a game in this tournament, your season's done. A lot of kids' collegiate careers are done. I think that's great TV, actually. I love that. What else? Said you got kid sports going on. Yeah. You talked about the Hall of Fame banquet. That's what I call it, Hall of Fame banquet. And I'm not excited about it. I'm going because mom and dad kind of like, they really seem like they sincerely wanted me to go. So I'll fucking go. Whatever. I'll go. Jim, as far as Corbett's party goes, we'll see what time we get done with the banquet. I honestly, is another thing I don't care about Mike Corbett's party. Maybe being out will make that an easier thing for me to do. But again, depending on what time, because I get leave the house around 7 o'clock tomorrow or Sunday morning for work. Jay, the hair, man, the hair. You got very you have a lot of hairdos. You have a lot of different hairdos. You kind of look like a mix between Steven Seagal and the karate guy from Karate Kid Part 2 or 3. Remember the guy in Karate Kid 2 or 3 that was deaking him? He's made him think he was training him for the goodness of the sport, and he was teaching him to be a fucking dirty karate guy. That's who you look like between Seagal and that guy. Not a bad look. Takes some balls to do that. Grow that much hair in your face and that. Man, that's. You should. I hope you realize how lucky you are to have the color in your hair. Anyways, I am surprised about New Kids on the Block. I can't believe you didn't like them. And you're right about Johnny Gill. That's him in that video. Michael Bivins getting hurt in that video. I think it's just acting. I don't think it's true. And here I am, just probably talking to nobody here. If you watch the new edition special on BET a couple years ago, it was like 6 parts. The guys that actually remade that video and did that whole thing nailed it. You talked about it looked like who'd you say it looked like? Jesus Christ. Jamie Foxx and someone. But yeah, you nailed that. That guy is actually their he's the guy that founded them. He found New Edition. He's like their manager or whatever. So they kind of reenacted that was a real thing, but they reenacted he was upset with them because they weren't rehearsing well. The whole thing of Michael Bivins getting hurt, that seemed kind of corny to me. But the dancing in that, oh my God. And you're right, the dancing should have been more of that. But holy cow, they made that shit look so easy. That stepping back. Anyways, so good. So good. New Kids on the Block. Donnie Wahlberg, yes, you're right about that. Jordan Knight. You talk about Joey McIntyre, who you didn't like. The guy with the muscles, I forgot what his name is, but it's not Donnie Wahlberg. But Marky Mark or Mark Wahlberg makes a cameo in that video. He's in black and white. Again, we talked about this years and years ago, me and my friends, and maybe Jason. But Derek Demore and Jordan Knight, the similarity of what the hell they look like was creepy. Creepy. And when I watching Jordan Knight, thinking about how Derek looked back then, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. That's about it for my reviews. New Kids on the Block wins 2-1. I would have picked New Kids on the Block in that video because there's so much energy, and I think the dancing was so good. So good. Like, so I don't know if I already mentioned it, Jay. There was on a goof. I was trying to pick a song to go up against New Edition, and that's what I came up with. I thought it sounded so good. All right, guys, nothing's going on besides what I just mentioned about for this weekend and work. And yes, Jason, baseball's coming. Can't wait for our draft. It really sucks that my team's already 0-2 before the huge opening day. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm so sick of liking sports. I really am sick of it. But that's it. I'll talk to you guys next week for Don's submissions.